Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Jay and welcome to the Shiplife. So as per usual, we do have a lot to unpack for today's video. In breaking news, we have a rescue at sea that took place. This involved a Carnival ship and a vessel in distress. I will go over the details so far. I also have a couple pictures to show you. We also have an unfortunate round of cancellations, or an extension of cancellations rather, with a Royal Caribbean ship. And finally, we have to talk about multiple cruise lines requiring boosters in order for you to sail starting as early as March. We'll go over the details when it comes to that, as well as what it could mean for the rest of the cruise ship industry moving forward. So yesterday, the Carnival Mardi made a sudden U-turn while sailing over in the Gulf of Mexico with paying passengers on board during its current cruise. This was to assist a vessel in distress. The vessel in question turned out to be a small fishing boat that contained what was believed to be refugees from Cuba that were trying to make their way over to Mexico when they unfortunately ran out of fuel. So what did the staff on board the Mardi Gras do? They gave them some fuel and sent them on their merry way. Now, according to Section 2304 of Maritime Law, if a vessel is in distress of any kind, a captain or individual of a ship, boat, or any vessel for that matter must assist that person that is in danger as long as they can do so safely. Either way, I gotta say, when it comes to this, the Mardi Gras is without a doubt my favorite ship so far. Let's see what happens with their other ships, the Celebration and the Jubilee, but hats off to Carnival Cruise Lines. Now, I am confused a little bit as to why they didn't just rescue the people. It could be because maybe they were actually going to Mexico and Mexico was right there, being that they were obviously in the Gulf of Mexico, or maybe because of COVID policy. But either way, the fact that they were able to give these men over there some fuel and send them on their way is a very good deed that doesn't go unnoticed, even if it is a law. Moving on in some Royal Caribbean news, we do have an unfortunate update, as Royal Caribbean Spectrum of the Seas, that is currently doing sailings to nowhere over in Hong Kong, has extended their cancellations. Originally, the ship was supposed to resume operations around this time at the end of January. However, the extensions now will continue until Valentine's Day on February 14th. Now, this pause in operations on board Royal Caribbean Spectrum of the Seas is due to local government and health authorities over in Hong Kong taking precautions due to the Omicron virus. Now, this has nothing to do with virus cases being reported on board Spectrum of the Seas. At the beginning of the year, there was a little bit of a scare because there was an outbreak over on land, and then they had a situation where there were close contacts that were on board the ship. Going to find out they weren't positive. They did quarantine all the close contacts that were on board Spectrum of the Seas. So either way, it's been kind of hectic over there. Royal Caribbean is just doing the best they can to adhere to the rules and regulations and COVID policies over in Hong Kong. We also had that situation with Genting, the Genting Dream. As we all know, unfortunately, Genting is going bankrupt. We don't really know exactly the extent of it. Either way, it's just not a very good situation. But they also did pause operations. Come to find out that after the bankruptcy now, well, they may be pausing for longer than expected, which is some very sad and tragic news for Genting. But hopefully, Spectrum of the Seas can start up sooner rather than later, and they don't get extended after Valentine's Day. So finally, we do have to talk about the big question that everybody is asking. Will boosters be required in order to sail in the year of 2022? Well, a couple cruise lines, luxury cruise lines, have already answered that question. Silversea, Azamara, and Lindblad Expeditions have come out and announced that starting on March 1st, anybody that is going to sail on their ships has to be boosted if they want to sail, if they've taken their vaccines 5 months prior or more to their actual sailing. We also have other cruise lines like P&O, Viking, and Cunard, just to name a few, because there are others that are also going to be making some type of requirements for boosters in order to sail, at least according to the points guy. Now, just looking at this, you have to ask the other big question when it comes to vaccines. If the smaller luxury lines are doing this already starting in March, what does this mean for the bigger guys like, let's say, of course, the big three, your Royal Caribbean, your Carnival, your NCL, and of course you can tie Princess in and Celebrity in with all that. Would it be possible for those cruise lines to require boosters in order to sail here in 2022? Yes, personally, I do believe that it is definitely a possibility. Just for example, let's take a look at Royal Caribbean Group. We know that both Silversea and Azamara are part of the Royal Caribbean Group, which means that this could inevitably start to affect at some point Royal Caribbean if we don't see this whole pandemic that we're dealing with start to kind of dissipate and go away. Omicron looks like it might just kind of, go up, spike in numbers, and then go down. However, we don't know if there's going to be another variant. Fingers crossed. I hope not, because I think we're all kind of tired of this at this point. But I know the cruise lines are going to do whatever they can in order to adhere to the CDC, any other health regulations, health authorities, policies. That way they don't have to go deal with the media scrutiny, and that way everybody can sail safely as well. But you got to also take into consideration the ports of call. We've seen that San Francisco over in California has already mandated that you have to be boosted in order to get off over in that port. What if they do that over in the Caribbean? What if St. Lucia or St. Kitts or Nassau, Bahamas decides to require you to be boosted? It would cause the cruise lines to really have no choice. They'd have to go around that back end in order for passengers to sail safely, in order for them to sail at all and actually not cruise to nowhere, because it's not possible in the United States. They would have to require boosters for passengers in order to sail. But either way, guys, I am going to leave it to you. What do you think could happen here in 2022, seeing as how we are already seeing luxury lines require boosters in order to sail? Let me know in the comment section below. I am going to leave it right here, guys. I appreciate every single one of you for hanging out with me this morning, and hit that like button on your way out. Of course, comment, share. It all goes a very long way in support of my channel. And of course, subscribe, because I know some of you aren't really subscribed to the channel yet. But just know that I appreciate all of you either way, and I'll see you later. Take it easy.